Travel rules for most European countries are changing. Starting 6 months after the launch of the EES, around 1.4 billion travelers from 59 visa-exempt countries will be required to obtain a travel authorization to enter 30 European nations for short-term visits. ETIAS is scheduled to begin operations in the last quarter of 2026. In this video, we will go through all the details about ETIAS and EES. ETIAS travel authorization will be a required entry document for visa-exempt nationals visiting any of the 30 European countries. It is electronically linked to your passport and remains valid for up to 3 years or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. If you get a new passport, you'll need to apply for a new ETIAS authorization. With a valid ETIAS, you can enter the Schengen area multiple times for short-term stays, typically up to 90 days within any 180-day period. ETIAS, Europe's travel authorization for visa-free visitors, arrives in late 2026. Fill out the application form using either the official ETIAS website or the mobile app. You will need a valid travel document, such as a passport, to which a visa may be affixed to apply. Your travel document should not expire in less than 3 months, and it should not be older than 10 years. You'll be required to provide personal details, such as your name, date and place of birth, nationality, home address, parents' first names, email address, and phone number, passport or travel document information, educational background and current occupation, planned travel details, including your intended stay in the ETIAS required countries, security-related information, including any criminal convictions, past or present. This information helps authorities assess eligibility for entry into the Schengen area. Applicants who are between the ages of 18 to 70 years are required to pay €7 fee. Apply for an ETIAS travel authorization well in advance of your planned journey because processing can take time. You'll receive a confirmation email once your application is submitted, which will include your unique ETIAS application number. Be sure to save this number. You'll need it for tracking your application and any future updates. After your application is processed, you will receive a follow-up email notifying you of the result, whether your ETIAS travel authorization has been approved or denied. If your application is refused, you will receive an email explaining the reasons for the decision. The message will also include information on how to appeal, the competent authority handling appeals, and the deadline by which you must submit your appeal. Since your ETIAS travel authorization is electronically linked to your travel document, it's essential to carry the same passport or ID you used during the application. If you don't, you may be denied boarding for your flight, bus, or ship, and refused entry into any of the European countries that require ETIAS. I have provided the list of 30 European countries that require visa-exempt travelers to have an ETIAS travel authorization in the description box. The list of countries that need to apply for ETIAS is also provided in the description box. If your country is not listed, then you need to apply for the visa. Apply for your ETIAS travel authorization well in advance, preferably before booking flights or accommodation. Ensure your passport details exactly match those in your ETIAS approval. Mismatched information may lead to denied boarding or entry. Verify that your ETIAS authorization is still valid before traveling. Know the maximum duration you're allowed to stay in ETIAS required European countries. Check your passport's validity. It must be valid for at least 3 months beyond your planned departure date from the ETIAS zone. Failure to meet this requirement can result in refused entry unless specific exceptions apply. The Entry-Exit System, EES, is an automated IT system for registering non-EU nationals traveling for a short stay, each time they cross the external borders of any of the 29 European countries. The Entry-Exit System, EES, modernizes border management by streamlining and improving the efficiency and accuracy of border control procedures. It replaces traditional passport stamping with automated electronic recording and helps make travel both simpler and more secure for non-EU travelers. The EES system applies to non-EU nationals who require a short-stay visa to travel to European countries using the EES or do not require a visa for short stays in those countries. In both cases, your entries, exits, and any refusals of entry will be electronically recorded in the Entry-Exit System, EES. However, note that in Cyprus and Ireland, despite being EU member states, passport stamps will continue to be used manually as they are not part of the EES system. The Entry-Exit System is currently not in operation. It is expected to start in October 2025. The Entry-Exit System, EES, is designed to modernize the management of the EU's external borders and gradually enhance the overall travel experience. It plays a key role in identifying overstayers by accurately tracking entries and exits, providing reliable real-time data on border movements and refusals, strengthening security through advanced biometric data collection, such as facial scans and fingerprints, preventing identity fraud by replacing manual passport stamps with electronic records, enabling real-time information sharing, so border authorities across the EU have immediate access to verified traveler data. In short, EES combines efficiency, security, and innovation to make European borders smarter and safer. ETIAS is a new entry requirement for travelers who currently do not need a visa to visit 30 European countries for short stays. With ETIAS, visa-free travelers will need to apply for travel authorization before beginning their trip. It is important to note that ETIAS is not a visa, and its introduction does not change the visa-free status of eligible travelers. Meanwhile, the Entry-Exit System, EES, will apply to both visa-free and visa-required travelers entering Europe for short stays. No action is required before travel. Registration happens automatically at the border of any of the 29 Schengen countries using the system. Every time a traveler crosses an external Schengen border, the EES will record their entry or exit electronically, replacing the traditional manual passport stamping process. When applying for an ETIAS travel authorization, travelers will be required to provide personal information, including their home address, passport details, current occupation, and details about any past travel or criminal convictions. No biometric data, such as fingerprints or facial scans, is collected as part of the ETIAS process. In contrast, the Entry-Exit System, EES, will collect biometric data, specifically the traveler's facial image and fingerprints. It will also record travel document information, along with the date and location of each entry into and exit from the European countries using the system. Travelers will need to apply for ETIAS travel authorization well before starting their trip to Europe, as it must be approved in advance. In contrast, EES registration happens automatically at the external borders of the 29 participating countries when travelers arrive. It's important to note that ETIAS and EES will not launch simultaneously. The EES will go live first, followed by ETIAS a few months later. The exact launch dates for both systems will be officially announced by the EU later this year. Stay tuned for updates. Europe's travel rules are changing, but with preparation, your trip will be smooth. Like, subscribe for more travel updates and comment, where will you go in 2025?